Okay, once you have saved your photo to the desktop of the computer, then you're going to go into Launchpad and you are going to select Adobe Photoshop on the second screen, so you will have to swipe with your mouse to get here. When it opens, I do want you to go ahead and open that image. So I'm going to click on Open, I click on Desktop, and then I select my selfie and I open the document. Now, because we are going to be printing this on transparency, we need to change the color mode that we are working in. So up on this top bar here where it says Photoshop, I'm going to go over to Image, and then I'm going to select Adjustments and go down to Black and White. And I'm going to click OK. So now my photograph has been switched to black and white. Once you've switched your photo to black and white, your next step is to go up to the Filter menu in your top Photoshop bar, and you are going to select Filter Gallery. When you're in the Filter Gallery, you want to select the Sketch folder and then click on Stamp. I'm going to look at my light-dark balance, and I'm going to adjust it or work with it so that to me looks pretty good. And instead there are a few lines from the angle that I took the photo that I'm not quite happy with. So what I'm going to end up doing is this is a paintbrush tool, and I'm going to flip my colors so that I'm using the white to fix it. Now you'll notice this is set as my background, so it's not going to let me edit it until I double click and hit OK. So now it'll let me edit my photo, and I can take and use this paintbrush tool to get rid of any lines that I find distracting. And then I'm going to come back in and just clean up a few of those extra dots that I don't want in my final. Okay, so now that you have your high contrast photo, we need to create another document. So I go up to File, New, and I'm going to select US paper because it's being printed on a transparency formatted for US paper. And I want a vertical paper because that's what I'm using for my collage. If you want it to be horizontal, you can also do that. So maybe I'll try out both and see which one I like. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to hit OK. And then I might even try and create a new one and switch the orientation this time. Now make sure on both of these, I forgot to mention this on the last screen, that you have at least a 300 pixels per inch for your resolution, and you can leave your background as white. So go ahead and hit OK. So I have two different versions here. Now I can click, so here are all my documents that I have open in Photoshop. So I can go back to my original, and now I want to go over to the Layers palette, and I'm going to duplicate my layer. What that means is it's taking this image and it's sending it to my other documents that I just created. So I'm going to select Untitled 1, and now I can go in here, and it's too small, so I want to transform it. One way to do that is go up to Edit, Transform, and Scale, and then you're going to click the corner and drag it to make it bigger. Now on your keyboard, you will also want to hold the Shift key. The reason for that, it will keep it in proportion. If you don't hold the Shift key, you can really end up distorting your portrait, which we don't want to do. So I'm going to hold my Shift key, and I'm going to drag it and make it larger. I can move my image as I'm working with it, and I'm actually going to move it off to the side a little bit, so that way I still have room to see my collage images. So I made it fit this height so that there's no extra white showing, and I went ahead and moved it over so I have at least about half of the space as white for my collage to show through. So then I'm going to go up to File and Save As, and when you see this, I've been in this program already today, so it looks a little different, but when you see this, it should look like this. Type in your name, and call it contrast, oops, selfie. And then make sure it's called a Photoshop document and click the down arrow, and you're going to move it to your desktop and click save. Now I already created a document named that. I'm going to replace it because I like this one better. And then I'm also going to test out my image now in my horizontal one. And I have it finished here. If I want to rotate it, I can also do that while the transform is selected. I just did the shortcut, which is holding down the Command key and the T. So if I wanted this at an angle, more of an angle, I could do that. But I would also have to make it bigger so it doesn't look funny on the page. So that could be an option as well if I really wanted it to be rotated. So I like the way that that is cropped, and it still gives me plenty of space. Might even move it off to the side a little bit more. That still gives me plenty of space for the rest of my collage. So I'm going to double click it to stop my transformation. Now I need to save it, so I go up to Save As. And this one, since I've already saved it once, I can see my desktop. This one I'm going to call Selfie Horizontal, so I know which one's which. Okay, so I have my two documents. I'm going to decide which one I like better. I think I'm actually going to go with my horizontal one. So now I need to send my file to the teacher to be printed. So I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to do Save As. This time, I need to change it to a JPEG. So I find my JPEG, I select it, and then I click Save. Now I want to make sure that it's at least an 8 or a 9. We want to make sure we're on the high setting, and then I click OK. Actually, I think I'm done, so I'm going to quit Photoshop. And it's asking me if I want to change my original image, and I'm not going to change it. And this time, now I'm going to go back to my Launchpad, or if you've already logged in, you can go to Chrome, but you might not be still logged in, and depending on where you're at, you might have to scroll. So you'll find Google Chrome. Once you open up Google Chrome, you're going to need to log into your Google account. So you'll want to type your student ID number. I'm typing my teacher login at smsd.org and use your Google password to sign in. Once you are signed in, you're going to go up to the top left corner of the screen and you're going to select the 9 square icon. From this icon, you're going to pick Google Drive. Once Google Drive loads, you're going to want to upload your file to your Google Drive. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this Art Explorations, and I'm going to hit Create. I'll open this folder, and in this folder, this is where I'm going to keep my art exploration assignments. So now I can go in and select my desktop. So here I can check on this side or up at the top to see that I'm in my desktop. And I'm going to select my image that I created. So I pick my document, and it is currently uploading. So now I have a copy of it saved to my computer. The next step that I need to do is open another tab. So I click on the tab next to my Google Drive. And in this one, I'm going to type classroom.google.com. Because I'm already logged into my school account, it should pull up my Google Classrooms that I am already enrolled in. If you haven't enrolled in the classroom yet for art, please make sure to either enter the classroom code or check your email for an invitation from the teacher. Okay, then you're going to click on your hour. You're going to look for the high contrast selfie image assignment. You're going to click on that assignment. Now keep in mind, mine is a teacher view. When that opens, it will give you a chance to upload a document. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in a different class.
So hopefully Mrs. Smith has an assignment already posted. Okay, so we're going to pretend this is our assignment. Make sure you're uploading it to the correct assignment. So what it'll look like when you come in is that it'll be blank. You'll select Add, select your Google Drive, find your Art Explorations folder, select your contrast selfie JPEG, click Add. It'll be a fairly large file, so it'll take a few minutes for it to upload, and then you'll click Turn In. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to turn it in? You'll click in Turn In again, and then your assignment will be submitted for the teacher to print out your photo on transparency. So just a reminder, make sure you're uploading it to the correct assignment. So you will do that process here with the high contrast selfie image assignment in Google Classroom. If you have any questions, please check with the teacher.